This is Sneaker Show Podcast. Thanks for being here. We talk about sneakers every week. There's three of us. I'm Tim. There's also Nathan and Shay. And we're stoked up on a lot of dunks this week. I brought a Dodgers SB pair, another Major League Baseball Nike Dunk SB. It's just the Kentucky colors, but the stitching's a little funky. And that's one of the pairs we're talking about this week. Let me say this, Nathan. That's a microphone in front of your face, bro. What do you sound like now?
I hope I sound good, that's for sure.
Ooh, look good, sound good.
I
And the
know.
off-white IKEA receipt behind you there?
Yes, sir, we're back home. We're back in the proper studio. Our little, just about 3 month hiatus. Had to take care of some things. Good to go. I got a whole pack of Nikes, and they're all covered in denim. We talk about some Yeezy re-releases. We talk about what is and isn't my name and how things might get mixed up. And then Fredo's got a couple good pairs too. Fredo, what do you got this week?
Yeah, I talked about the Skate SB Dunk High that's releasing with the collab out of Chicago. And then we touched on a little bit more of a wild pair, the MSCHF, one of theirs that's coming out here soon.
Those aren't related to Vans at all. This MSCHF wavy shoe. This is just, they're just like, hey, this is our shoe. Also, it's kind of similar to a shoe that people have been wearing for 60 years.
Yes, that one.
Cool. Really cool. Warren Lotus, what's up? Shout out. Thank you for listening. Apple, Spotify, we really appreciate it. YouTube is also an option, and there is a link to watch this podcast in this description below. I think that's everything for right now. Ooh, if you see us post something on Instagram, hit that save button. You know what's up.
Make sure you're subscribing on YouTube.
Please
We
hit
appreciate that.
subscribe. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
appreciate every single one of you.
All right. Sneaker Show Podcast. It's April now. Let's go. Let's go. All right. This is the original Yeezy. Is that what I'm looking at?
Yes, sir, the turtle dove.
Now, we've come a long way. So far that to me, this looks like the ripoff of a Yeezy. This doesn't look like a real shoe to me. People want to have this because why?
That's
Nostalgia.
OG, dude. This is like the bread one of Adidas.
That's disrespectful to the shell toe.
Well, like in terms of like collabs and shit.
Fair enough. Yeah, so this shoe is getting re-released, is what we're seeing, and obviously it's nothing new that Kanye will put out what he's already put out, especially shoe-wise. So, and we're looking at getting the zebras again. Does this not seem a little out of place? I think so. Like it feels like this didn't come out that long ago. I get that, that was 5 or 6 years. Doing some quick counting, but it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Do people want this? I feel like this shoe has been mall kiosked, DH gated the hell out of, and like even if you were rocking this around now, I don't know if it would necessarily have the same effect as it once did, especially when we look at some of the other 350 V2s, and that's kind of like the proper put together version of this, is it not? Like this is a little more bare bones.
The flex gets softer the more that are available and the further we get from this being it, I feel. But I'm not a Yeezy guy.
I don't care. I want a pair. I want a pair for the nostalgic persons. I remember in high school, this was like the shoe.
Well, no, and I agree, and I understand what it means, but I don't like just even the pattern. Like it looks plain. It looks, I don't know. There's nothing. It's not fun to me anymore.
It looks like a Sketcher. Is this
W-
the Skechers version?
That's what I mean. Like, is this
Yeah.
this is the look we're going for? I'm not quite understanding what the appeal is.
You could get two pairs of these for $60 at H&M.
You just might be able to. But that's my problem with it is once you see, like I say, like somebody from a mall kiosk or like, what, this isn't the version with the LEDs in the bottom? I'm confused.
Yeah. It costs more. It doesn't
Like
even
just
come with lights.
it doesn't even light up. Like, oh, do you have the charger? Um, there's no charger. Um, yeah, that's just what kills it for me, right? Like, I know I said about how I sold my pandas because I was sick of wearing something I seen everybody in the mall wear, and you can literally see these almost everywhere in the mall, right? So I'm good.
So you're saying the zebras are coming out too?
The zebra as well, already on Yeezy supply. We'll see where else gets them, and kind of scratching my head on that one. Um, but with a Zebra re-release, as we've had three or four at this point, comes a classic moment in sneaker history. Has nothing to do with Kanye even, and it's the video of that guy going into round two and trading the OG Pharrell Human Races, Raf Simons Oswego's Y3 Pure Boost, the Oreo ones, which were like sick. That was like my favorite Boost shoe, I think, when all these were hard. And 450 US dollars for a pair of zebras.
And he's like feeling fortunate. He's like, "Oh my God, I've been blessed."
He
Like the
thought he
look on
got a
his face.
steal.
He's literally like, I had to have these. I had to have them.
Mm.
Sucker. Talk
So when
about
they
playing a.
announced the re-release,
Oh, this guy must just like cringe every time, dude. Because like I see it everywhere. So if I see it everywhere, I couldn't imagine how many more places he sees it. Because
yeah.
like everybody's sending it to him. This guy's like notorious, essentially.
You remember when? Yes, I remember when.
How can I forget? These shoes come out once every 1.5 years. I gotta see it. Complex Bleacher Report. It's like that R. Kelly video where he's like, "I'm fighting for my life out here.
From a damn life.
Y'all killing me." Yeah,
It's
that sucks.
well, just one more thing on Yeezy re-releases. I'm sorry, I'm the guy clutching his pearls at the price, but the 700 V2 static retail is $380, and that's before taxes for us. Bro, $4 retail. I like them. I don't need them though. Like, has it been that way always? I'm sorry if this is how it's always been that much. Damn. Okay.
Absolutely.
Good God.
Yeah, and maybe that made sense when there was resale on them, but just think about what you can get for $400.
Yeah, right? Couple
Holy,
pairs.
it, you could get two very wearable shoes or one like just about grail, I would think at this point, right? Especially in that neighborhood.
Okay, I'm going to change the slide on to one for all the quality nerds out there.
Yeah, let's just start throwing shade at everybody. So this picture is for exactly how Tim put it, little nerd in your little sneaker groups or on Instagram or whatever, going,
Are these SBB quality?
every time Jordan brand puts out a one, it looks like these are idiots.
The yellow
Buy 'em.
toes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm expecting these better fly off the shelf, and all those little weebs better put their money where their mouth is and buy the frickin' one and not go, I would have bought these if they were nicer quality. Here they are, baby.
In the side by side, it almost just looks like somebody painted backboards yellow because they're identical here. It's out in the sun. You can really see the grain of the leather. And I don't know, people have done crazy things to pictures on the internet before. This is just how, is this a credible source? Is this reputable? Do you feel like this is something we can believe in?
Look good to me. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So if you are friends and family with Union and they send you the Air Jordan 2s, they send them to you in a lucite box that contains wilderness. There are actual butterflies, real live butterflies.
It's an ecosystem. There's a terrarium, I think is the word we're looking for.
This is a habitat. This is Ducks Unlimited. I think this was Offset had this sent to him from Union, LA. Went all out with the friends and family packaging. That's rad. I guess you want to do something new and get attention. That'll do it. But over the top.
So the outdoor education pack.
How do you ship that? Because like there's holes in the box and stuff for like the butterflies, you know what I mean? So like how does that work?
Doesn't have the same pop when this box full of dead bugs shows up. You really got to
You
work out the air holes.
you gotta dig those out of the moss. Dude, I get regular Nike boxes that are sleeved in cardboard boxes that are beat to shit. I couldn't like,
This is
yeah,
priority shipping.
does Union know what the post office does? Because it's not good, I'll tell you that.
Union unveiled their full Future Now capsule to go with the Air Jordan 2s. And there's a slide. I didn't know there would be. It's a crater slide. The rest of the apparel, by the way, looks fire. All the hoodies and t-shirts, they're all like distressed and ripped up on the edges. I really like the looks of them. I'm always looking for a next slide, something around the house, something for summer. This looks, yeah, totally wearable. This one's in the same colorway as like the blue Jordan 2. Did you guys know this was coming? Am I weird to get excited about a slide from Union? Be my first pair of Unions, bro.
I did not know this was coming, and that's exactly what I was gonna say. I swear to God, if your first Union is a slide.
I didn't know that they were doing a slide, but I missed out on like Bravest did a like the Gucci Birkenstock clog this week, but they didn't ship to Canada, so I couldn't get them. So I don't know. I definitely look to pick these up. These are sick.
Thank you for confirming what I thought. Whoa, that looks sick. Okay. We're looking at a picture now that is like an illusion. I have not often done real double takes, but I had to like rub my eyes. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like an old school van, the classic version, the low old school, but it is not. So Fredo, can you describe what's happening here?
Yeah, so these are called the Wavy Baby by MSCHF. I mean, yeah, there's not really a whole ton to say. They're definitely different. These drop April 18th, and then retail is 220 US, so it's definitely up there. I saw the box for them, and it's like super similar to that Vans box with like the wrapping paper in that too. But I don't know, they're definitely different. It's not something I would like think to see myself in, but I would definitely scoop these. I think they're sweet. They're
Have we
definitely
seen
different.
anybody walk in them? It can't be normal.
Tyga was like one of the big like promoters of it actually. I think that kind of is like why it blew up the way it did.
I don't think it's as crazy as we're thinking, right? Like, because that sole's so big, and you can see like that's got to be a good inch and a half of sole that comes up and down, and if you look in there, there would be a nice plane of like flatness in there. Know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so you'd really only have the gaps on the bottom on the outside, which kind of tells me they'd be a little hard to walk in. I don't think you'd have a whole lot of grip with just three little bumps there. Um, but yeah, I could see how your foot would go into these, right? Like,
It's like there's a second heel. There's,
yeah,
sometimes like on an Air Max 95, you got the heel and then there's a little gap and then your front foot. Then they put another little wave in there. Yeah, I've seen some pictures of them from the underside as well, and they got a real Frankenfoot kind of look to them. I thought it was a joke, and then you start seeing it popping up all over the place. Here's what I have for us this week, boys. We've got a Kentucky colorway on a Nike Dunk SB. This is another MLB inspired dunk. This would be the LA Dodgers dunk, and it has everything that I want in this colorway. We've talked about it a lot recently. There was this SB High that's just like the retro Kentucky. I don't know that that's going for a lot. There's something that just looks a little bit weird to me about the fat laces on this and the fat tongue on these highs. I know Fredo's got the actual retros there, and Coffee dyed, and they look dope. But that's just not for me. And the actual retro Kentuckys are a rack. They're going to be $800, $1,000, whatever it is. This to me, I think you get all the fun of the retro. Plus, we were talking about that Jackie Robinson pair recently that had the felt swoosh on the side and the laces have that sort of baseball stitching on it. I'm not as down with that, but this has everything that I like, plus the fat tongue, and it's got that cool, like, you stepped in gum thing on the gum sole. It's gum on gum, baby. I really like the looks of these. Guys,
Well, it's got
Dodger
a gum
Dunks.
sole. It's got a gum sole on it, so you know we love it.
Yeah.
This looks like like almost like an aged version of the Kentucky, hey? That darker blue looks a little worn with that suede and everything. These are cool. Yeah, I like these. It's kind of that white tongue. I don't hate the white tongue. It's just that red on there. I don't know if that does it for me. And you know, with those with the SB lows, that tongue is popping out, so you can't really cover that. Yeah, I don't know. If a pair of these fell into my lap, I wouldn't be too upset. But
I like that
better than the
stitching on the
Jackie.
swoosh. Yeah, similar to the Jackies,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. This is a better execution, I think. Imagine if this had the felt swoosh on it.
It
Now
has
we're talking.
something different about it.
I think it's a stitch.
I think it's like a stitched edge on it. You know
Like
what
a
I
Yeah.
mean?
double stitch on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like same kind of boat. I think they're way better. I love that outsole.
Yeah, excited for that. All right, let's move on to the next picture here. Come on now. I'm going to have to pop out of this and pop back in. We'll see how that goes.
Ooh, did not go. There we are. Do 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 do.
Yeah, everything's working sweet this week. Okay.
Hey, we got the denim pack. All right, we have Nike's denimed out pack. This is supposed to release in what they're saying spring summer. The only really close release date I find is the Air Max 97s are supposed to come out in May. I would assume that these are going to drop all at the same time as they typically do. What we're looking at here is an Air Max 97, like mentioned, a Dunk High, an Air Max 90, and a Blazer High. And I'm really a fan of all of these. I have to assume it's kind of like the concepts we mentioned last week, where every pair is a little different. With the wash, I couldn't imagine they're getting the same denim wash on these. I love it. I love 3 out of the 4. I'm not a fan of those Air Max 90s. Maybe it's because they don't have a wash on them. I don't think that would do it for me either, to be honest with you. Like the Air Max 1, it's got the little bit thinner of the sole, I think is why I like that one. Yeah, yeah, I'm a fan of these. I like the Dunk High the most, I think. Close second would be the Air Max 97. Tim, what are you thinking?
Everything you say is true. These are dope, and the 90s just ain't it. Everything else has that wash, and the 90s look like the denim jacket that a cowboy wears in an 80s movie.
I wonder if
You
you
know.
could bleach dye them. Or
I
like
would think
acid
so.
wash them yourself.
Or you could just buy the ones that are already bleach dyed. Blazers actually are, I think, my favorite out of all of these. And they don't got any of the red. That's maybe why.
Yeah, just a little bit on the tongue
On
there.
that
Hey,
tongue, yeah.
I like the Dunk High. That's the one, I think, for me. If I was to get these, I don't know. It's tough because these are so much denim. You know what I mean? Like our concepts are a lot of denim, but there's so many other things going on there that
Yeah.
it doesn't pull you towards the denim.
Right.
I think this might be a tough wear if you had a blue jean up top.
Well, and some people that they love the Canadian tuxedo. They can't get enough. I struggle going denim on denim. Some people, and power to you. If you go with like an army pant with this though, like some sort of camo climbing pant or you're
Yeah.
set. you're set.
Fair enough. Burrito.
Those 97s are sweet. I don't know. I like them all. But no, those 97s are definitely my favorite.
Fair enough. We all got a different favorite. That's cool.
Yeah, I love the air bubble on the bottom of those 97s.
All the way around.
Speaking of Air Max, air bubbles, I bring you a story from the world of parenting. My son is 8 years old, and we went out for some sneakers. We went to the Foot Locker. He was in between a pair of Huaraches and Air Max 90s. He hasn't had a pair of either of those before. The hoodie that he had on matched these perfectly, so it was a moment, and we got these, and it was great. And these cost twice as much as the Huaraches, by the way, because that's
You
just,
got good taste.
he's my son, for sure. So later that night, he, after promising, he's like, Dad, these are my new shoes. I'm going to take care of these shoes. Of course, he stepped in mud. It's April in Saskatchewan. You buy white shoes. We were walking into Foot Locker. He's like, the one thing I'm not doing, Dad, is buying white shoes. And then he fell in love with this white pair. So it was so perfect. So last night we learned a little bit about cleaning shoes, and we got out the ice cream pail and a toothbrush and a rag, and they're tuned right up, and all is well. And I managed to explain that you can be frustrated about something without being angry at the person. You know, things happen, and we work through it, and that's life.
I love it. Hey, sorry, that gray on those Air Max 90s you
Yeah.
got him, is that Wolf Gray?
I think it's actually Wolf Gray, yes, on the
It
mudguard
just
there.
might
Yeah,
be, hey? How fitting.
perfect. Yeah, we could write Wolf Air on the side.
Air Wolf, there we
Air.
go.
Wolf was here.
Yeah, it was a great day. I sold my wife's tie-dyes. I met this guy. This guy's name is Sam. Sam is a listener of the podcast, and he's a friend of Jeremy's and Asif's over at Momentum. And I put these up on the local Saskatoon marketplace, and it turned into a friendship. So, you know, we're standing in the parking lot making this deal happen, and it's kind of a chilly morning. And Wolf was out there with me and everything. He got in, you know how it is. We can never stop talking to each other. Wolf got in and out of the car, I bet you 5 times, thinking that we were leaving, being like, it's cold, I'm getting out of here. And then coming out again, be like, wow, still talking shoes. Cool. So shout out to Sam, and thanks for doing the deal, and thanks for watching the podcast. He's a big footer like you, Fredo. He's in those 13 mochas.
Oh yeah, love that.
This guy just looks like he's like your friend, you know what I mean? Not, and I don't mean your.
He
I
looks
just
like
mean
he's everyone's friend. This guy looks
That's-
like the
that's what
nicest
I'm
guy I've
saying.
ever seen. Look at that
Yeah,
hat.
not like
dude.
Tim's
What a
friend. I just
legend.
mean your friend, as in whoever is seeing this. Yeah, this guy looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just looks comforting, you know. Thanks for listening.
Shout out Sam, dude.
What a man, hey! Look at that hat, the flannel, dude. He's like Al Borland from Tool Time.
This will be my legit check profile picture.
I would look at this guy. He's awesome.
I would trust that guy.
Yeah, you know, he just like knows how to like cook meat and like man stuff. You know what I mean? Like holy
He was
shit!
buying them for his wife. He also buys sneakers for his daughter. He's that kind of guy. And
Stand-up
he's
guy.
got a wild collection of ones. He's actually got the real shattered backboards, the reverse backboards, breads, and yeah, we scrolled through each other's phones. Oh, you got these ones? Well, I want to get those ones. Just a couple of sneaker losers at Starbucks. Well, you want to go inside and drink a coffee? No, we'll stand in the freezing cold for half an hour.
What a G!
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, shout out Sam. Come on the show.
Those thoughts were occurring. I'm like, do I invite him on the show now? Do I
Why
like
not?
no, we'll just like follow each other, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, he's well spoken. He'd be a good guest.
Yeah, play it cool, Tim. Don't let him think that you like him a little too much at first, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I do with everybody. I go out in the world and I meet people, and I come on this podcast and I'm like, oh my God, there's this cool guy who works at Momentum.
But in person, you're like, yeah, dude, whatever. We might talk.
What's up? Oh yeah, you work here? Right
Oh,
on, a lot of people do.
Didn't notice. And then in the group chat, this guy has the best hair.
That
Hey, are
is
you new
100.
here? Are you new here? I come to Momentum all the time.
I'll be seeing a lot of you. I mean, you'll be seeing a lot of me.
Yeah. Yeah, it is good to meet me, isn't it? Hey, Tim, good to see you. Yeah, it's good to be seen, Jeremy.
That's life. That's for real.
Yeah, we'll cut it there.
Okay, we've got some more dunks. These joints are all what the mismatch colored, so you know Shay's about them.
I'm on it, dude. So yeah, Nike teamed up with Froskate, which is a Chicago-based skate community. Mainly consists of BIPOC skaters who identify as queer, non-conforming, or transgender. So within that white leather base, you can find their motto "All love, no hate," embossed on the side panel there, along with that same heart like perforated toe box that was on the Valentine's Day Air Force One last year. Yeah, just like some multicolor mismatched overlays. It has that same kind of motto on the tongue for them as well. The sock liner's sick. It's got that like quilted style. And it homes that like set of illustrated insoles that are super cool too. Um, all of this sits on top of that icy sole. Comes with a few sets of laces, which we all love. No real retail yet. There's not a whole lot of info on these. These are pretty like early photos. But yeah, you guys know I love a mismatched pair. So between that and Nike working with a community like Froskate, I think these are sick. But Nathan, what do you think on these?
Yeah, they're really cool. I thought it was I didn't do enough reading into these evidently. I thought it was like a skateboard shop or like a skateboard group. I didn't realize it was something like that. So yeah, that's cool. Good for them. I like these. I don't know if I like these enough to buy them, but I like them, and yeah, it's nice to see Nike out in the communities. And we here at Sneaker Show Podcast are here for the he's, the she's, the theys, and the gays.
Yeah, and I've for sure been guilty of not knowing anything about the shoes we're talking about on this podcast too, and being like, "Hey, man, tell us about those Jordans," and you being like, "Well, they're dunks." So, rad pair, man, for sure. You don't often see like the tongues the different colors, so this is like two different shoes. I hope you can get your hands on them, Fredo. We are running out of time. Do you want to take a commercial break?
We should.
Okay, we'll come back. You know what I was just thinking about is the Instagram story I was watching of Trey at Status shooting hoops, and not one went in. Now, this is a man who claims he's an athlete. He says he's fast, and this is something they posted. So those were the good shots, the air balls. They were like, this is good as we can come up with. That's all we can share right now. Shout out to Trey. We love it. He's the nicest guy in sneakers. He really is. I don't know why I'm so hard on him. Maybe because
He talks shit, dude.
it's the false claims. He says he's
He
fast.
said he was good at 2K, and I 30-pieced him in the third quarter.
So I can't wait to see the store and to smoke his ass right down Memorial. Like, is that where they are? Kensington's on edge of Memorial there in Calgary.
Oh, it'd be generous to think that if you raced him from the store, he'd make it to Memorial.
He's not even gonna make it. Gassed out in a sprint.
Yeah.
But congrats on the new store, guys. That looks
It
fire.
looks so sick.
Yeah.
They're in such a good spot too. They're on like that main corner.
Crazy location.
Looks so sick, dude. I can't wait to go.
All the glass, the windows, they're second or third level, I'm not sure, but they're top of the building looking down. And it just looked incredible. Like a huge success. It was clearly a big success, this grand opening. So Status, we're coming for you. Can't wait to have you guys on the pod. Let's play a round of rock, paper, skippers. Here are the pairs to consider. You got those denim dunk highs. You got the Froskate dunk highs. And then you got those Dodger dunk SBs. One you're going to wear,
Ooh.
one you're going to sell, and one you're going to skip. Rock, paper, skippers.
It's easy.
I don't think it is.
I think it's easy.
All right,
'Cause
easy.
they're yeah, go for it. Kick us off then.
I'm rocking those Froskate dunks. I am paper flipping those dunk lows,
The
the
Dodgers.
Dodgers
yeah.
ones. And then yeah, I don't know. I'm skipping those dunk guys. If they were the
Mm.
if they were the 97s, it would have been a little bit more difficult, but I
Ooh.
wasn't huge on those.
So wait a second. We got to be careful with these two because this has come up before. Are the Froskate, is that a fundraiser shoe?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Some of the
All right.
like leaks I've seen, they're supposedly kind of just dropping like every other like SB dunk, like just select skate shops and then like Nike
Rad.
and that. But
Okay. Because we were talking
Fair
about some
enough.
Dorenbeckers one time and it felt weird saying that you wanted to sell them. These are so limited, bro. And that's true, but like this is for kids in a hospital. Okay. So just based on what these look like, what are you going to wear? What are you going to sell? What are you going to skip? Nathaniel.
Oh, that is not my full name, dude.
I love calling you that.
I have the funniest story about that. I'll tell you afterwards from when
Yeah.
I was in school. No, actually, I'll tell it now. I think it's really funny. So one of my instructors, he was my favorite. This was in second year, and so he knew me well enough to know that I was no stranger to like pulling a joke or something. But in this case, I wasn't. So it was our first day, and he was going through the list, and just by chance, there was two Nathans in the class. However, one of them was Nathaniel, and the other one was me, Nathan. So he hits the other one first, and I guess he had just never seen this name before, or maybe it read weird on the screen. But he goes, Nathan Anal.
And he met you.
Well, and of course, the class erupts in laughter, and then he looks at me and goes, "Wait, that's not funny. How did you do that?" And I'm like, "Do what?" And he's like, how did you change?" And I was like, "That's somebody's name. That's I didn't do anything to your class list." And then to make matters worse, one of my friends goes, "No, I think that one suits him better." And then so he gets a little bit further down the list, and he's like, "Oh, Nathan Stabler." And I was like, "See?" So unfortunately for that guy, the rest of the term we were in, he was known as Nathan Anal.
Oh, clearly, yes.
It's a cold world. Anyways, yeah, and this wasn't like middle school or anything. This was like 2 years ago. So
I love that he accused you of like Jedi mind tricks.
changing
Whoa.
the class list.
yeah, make him say anal after my name. This is not the Nathan you're looking for. Anywho, I'll take the denim highs, I'll sell the fro skates, and I'll skip the Dodgers. Ta-da.
Yeah, I think I want to wear the Dodgers. It seems like those fro skates are going to be worth something. And I already got the denim on those Concept Air Max 90s, brah. They're not
Fair
90s.
enough.
They're just Air Maxes. I'm an Air Max fan. Holy cow. I like Air Max, guys. Like more than Jordans, I think. Like that's my thing right now. There's that, sometimes on Instagram you just see a pair and you're like, whoa, I've never seen them like this before. There's just like a simple suede, it's like gray pair with a pink outsole. I can't remember what they're called, but there's just like a picture of some guy holding them like this. And you're like, I got to have those now. I got to track down what these are. Were they
I
called
hear you on that.
Amsterdam?
Oh yeah, I put those in
Yeah.
the group. Yeah, I think they were either London or Amsterdam. Something like that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's fun how sneakers keeps on unveiling, revealing itself to me. You don't know it all. You don't even know what you like yet. Suddenly, look at Shea has one pair of Jordan 1s,
Mental.
one pair of highs. This is a guy had a wall of them. Last time I was there was a whole wall.
Yeah,
give
we're
it a little
switching
bit.
it up. We're switching it up. No, even just like going back to what you said, like you were talking about how your son was like going between those and the Hirachis.
Yeah.
And it made me think of this. I don't know if you guys have, well, I think Nathan's seen them, but Undefeated did like a collab like way back. And it was a Hirachi. It was like all blue suede, but then the like guard on the back was like oil
Oh, it's
slick.
a chrome. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And I was looking at pairs of my size, but I don't know. They go for a bag, but now I want a pair. I totally forgot about them until like you brought up Hirachis, but
I remember like because that was around the time like me and Shay, well, we do everything together, so we got into sneakers at the same time for sure. And that was when the turtle dove was around and
yeah, dude.
hot. Yeah, I remember that because I just remember you being like, oh yeah, this is like my grail shoe or whatever. And at the time,
Yeah, dude.
it was probably like $200 or $300. Like when that was when we were so on
That was
grail,
like unheard of to spend that much on a
dude.
pair of shoes.
Oh, especially at the time, right? Yeah, I vividly remember you like
Yeah, dude.
that
I
was the
want a
one.
pair now. I don't they gotta be like pretty old now though. I don't imagine there's
Yeah,
like
it's
a ton of those floating around.
Yeah, like if you're expecting
probably
to track
explains the
down a
price.
DS pair of what size you getting? Because you need big old Hirachis, man.
My Hirachis I have now are 12. But
Yeah,
I've seen some used pairs come up, and just because of the way that the like back piece on it is,
mm-hmm.
like it's like a chrome like oil slick like goldish
Instead
like
of like
pink
the
fuzz.
rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all like chipped, so
Hmm.
they look like super
Yeah, I
bad.
can
But
see that.
I don't know. I'm gonna
Super
try and
bad in a
track down a
bad
pair.
way.
Yeah, like they're
Not
just
like McLovin.
yeah. I don't know. I'll try
Um,
and track down a pair.
don't know if that sole would age too well either, hey, because once you wear your Hirachis a little bit, that thing looks wrinkled.
Yeah, they get squished. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they turn into Yoda. Um, Speaking of that though, and I know we discussed those Jade 5s last week,
Hmm.
I absolutely like you could probably see like a vein in my forehead every time my phone pings and it's like that they restocked somewhere. Because I just like I keep talking myself out of it because the color I love on them is the color of my sea foams that I haven't worn yet. But the draw to these is they just look so they look so pre-aged and beautiful and it just looks like something I want so bad. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I just like I twitch a little bit every time I see the notification.
It's so funny how you would see it that way when you have seafoams in your inventory.
Yes.
I never thought of these Jade 5s as similar, but as soon as you mentioned it, so and the tricky thing about this is Nathaniel here has a connection to his seafoams with his girlfriend. She has the same pair, so you can't just be selling those and getting the Jade 5s.
No, I'd have to get a new girlfriend too, and I don't overly want to do that.
Now it's really
Much,
complicating things. Yeah.
yeah, much like my ones, I think I made the right choice. So
I think you can get the 5s though just based on you don't have any 5s.
anymore.
That's why you can get them.
But if I didn't wear them in other colors, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just it's not that I haven't wanted to wear my sea foams or anything. It's just like they're that real nice suede, and it's been a little nasty up here, right? So don't get me wrong. There's been a few nice days, but I busted out the unions and like the pattas and stuff like that. So it's not that I don't want to wear them or I'm not gonna wear them. I just haven't had the opportunity. And like you said, got to match with Michaela too, right? So
Hmm.
the stars have to align perfectly that she's got them on and I've got them on, and she's got a few pairs of sneakers now, so it's a little hard to line up.
Well, I love wearing these pattas. I love
Oh
it.
yeah, oh yeah.
They feel so good. This is the right size. I don't need to tie them up. They're like slippers, dude. I was at my daughter's dance competition this week, and in between the numbers, when you got a little bit of time, I just look at my shoes. I just go, oh, these are dope. Yeah, so that's Sneaker Show podcast for the week. If I meet anybody who's interested in a Starbucks parking lot, they'll be the guest next week. We can lock that in. We can explain to them why we call you Nathan Anal. Or not. We'll just start with it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, let them, mad lib that one together. Like, why do they call him that? And be like, well, what do you think? Obviously, it's school related. That came out worse than I wanted. Obviously, this has to do with college.
Kind of podcast is this? Yeah, that's Sneaker Show podcast. And we really appreciate you watching and listening. We'll be back next week.